Hey guys, I'm CLINTFLAIRWOOO, welcome back to another Division 2 video, and today is a cracking update from State of the Game, which was from earlier today, and yes, we've had some cracking news, amazing news that, again, can only shape the future of Division 2. And yes, guys, as you can see in the background, this is hardwired. This is my gear set that I produced a build video for a couple of days back. Check out the gameplay if you want to see the build to this particular content, this gameplay. Click the link above right about now. Let's do this. Guys, State of the Game. Cracking, absolutely cracking episode. I've never been a fan of State of the Game. I've always found it cheesy and just unwarranted, and it took them ages to get to the point. And in fact, they nearly missed them from today's State of the Game, which was a kick in the ass. But yeah, I've got it, and we'll go through those now. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to read you this. Now, take a look. When you're in World Tier 5, after Title Update 6 goes live, you will have a new way to target specific loot. This system will allow you to hunt for certain loot types, such as specific gear slots, brand items, weapon type, and mods. Every mission and name zone will have a specific type of loot associated with it. Several zones and missions might offer the same loot, and so you can choose which activity suits your playstyle best. Replay missions or complete open world activities in name zones if you're after specific items. So guys, this is targeted loot, so we know exactly where to go to get the loot that we need. So for convenience, there'll be information on the mega map to communicate which missions and name zones have an increased drop chance for which item types. We've also included a timer to ensure players know how long the current targeted loot rotation is active. So we'll have a time, I'm guessing 3 to 4 days, maybe even a week, that this will be active for, so we know where to go, where to farm if we need that Absolute Armor backpack. My gear score, one of 457, which I've had since the start of World Tier 5. I want a new and improved one. Now I know where to go. I will have a direction where I need to go, and as you can see on the map, they are listed with the signs, with the logos of the brand set. That is awesome. This is awesome. This is great news. Okay, again, for me, you know, when we farm, when we go hunting for loot, we're looking everywhere and anywhere for that 0.0001% chance of dropping that perfect backpack, chest piece, or whatever it may be. So guys, this is great news so far. Let's carry on. Large icons represent drops in name zones, while smaller icons tell you which main missions offer which loot. What does a mission with targeted loot look like? These missions drop loot as normal. The targeted items are then added as drops on top of the regular loot, as drops on top of the items you would expect to get out of a mission. So you're guaranteed these drops off bosses. Guaranteed the loot type that you need. The targeted items have a guaranteed drop chance from named bosses and a smaller chance to be lootable from all NPCs and containers. In the open world, your targeted loot, which is displayed on the mega map, is guaranteed to drop from named NPCs and activity completions. So again, help some armament, if that's what you're after, Province Defense, Healer Guard, you know where to go, which is, again, this just gets better. You also have a smaller chance to get specific items when opening containers and looting fallen enemies in these zones. This also applies to the dark zones, which are part of the loot rotation and will show which items you can loot from there. Keep in mind, all dark zone items that dropped as targeted loot will need to be extracted before you can use them. If you want to go farming in the DZ, you will need to extract your loot. To make sure you don't miss out on your loot target, we've also added a highlight to these drops to stand out in a loot pile. Take a look at this. So you can see if you're after, again, Healer Guard, if you're after Overlord Ornaments, again, whatever you need, whatever you're looking for loot-wise, you will get this icon, which again indicates what you are looking for or what brand set you're looking for. So guys, a great touch so far. I'm impressed. As with all loot, The specific items you target with our new system will scale with your agent's gear score. As you progress towards gear score 500, so will the items you loot. This applies at gear score 500 as well. Hope you're looking forward to seeing these changes to loot acquisition coming in episode 2. Be sure to stay tuned for more information coming regarding DC and PvP updates, which is again the coming weeks, together with a look at the roadmap for the Division 2. Until next time, the Division team. So, some absolutely stellar news. Great news. Again, the problem that I never had a fixated point where I need to be. I don't have that way to navigate. If I wanted a particular backpack or a particular chest piece, whether it be a Berserk chest piece or Unbreakable or having tech support on your backpack, you never have a clue where to go. You just have to just farm away throughout the game, whether it be in the Light Zone or the DZs. That's the current state of the game. So these changes will only improve your time within the game and ensure that your loot grind is more successful. So guys, I'm stoked with these changes. I'm absolutely impressed so far. A few bits and bobs that we'll go through, and the first thing they said right at the end of State of the Game in the highlights reel, that stash space will go to 300. This is a very delicate topic for many people, especially ones who went for the Ultimate Edition, where you paid for that stash space. You know, I don't want to go there, in all fairness, because it is a negative topic, but they are increasing stash base to 300, which is a good thing, and this should have been from the beginning of the game. Due to this sheer velocity of loot, you need a huge amount of stash base. Not knowing that, again, in terms of recalibrating items, it is preposterous at present, and that will improve as we go through this video. So, there is going to be a PTS. All this stuff is coming in PTS Title Update 6. The PTS, I believe, will start in the next week or two, which is great news. Again, it's only for PC, which is a little bit frustrating. However, there will be a PTS, and there will be feedback. I'm looking forward to see what my Gun 17 puts out. I cannot wait. But yeah, excited. Now, there will be no narrative content, and thank Christ for that. That's something that pissed me off completely. Again, the PC guys had access to this early access content that people paid for well in advance, which again was highly frustrating, but that has been removed. This PTS, there will be no narrative content, so they will not be screwing the community again. Yes. Watch this space, massive. Okay, so Title Update 6 is live in October. Again, there's no set date in October. It depends on the success of the PTS and how that performs. But in all honesty, my guess is around about mid-October. Around 14th to the 20th is my guess. Now, one thing that's really excited me, and it may excite some of you guys, some of you probably won't give a toss. However, gear set changes. Now, I'm a huge advocate of gear sets, and I believe they are very situational, but they work an absolute treat if you build them correctly. That's my opinion. However, Massive do kind of resonate that feeling, and they've decided to implement some changes which will only benefit you and your builds and the luxury of gear sets. They're reducing gear sets from 6 pieces to 4 pieces. So as an example, in the background, you can see my hardwired build. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off, again, the 2 pieces, because that's over-indexed. I'm going for the 4 piece. I could go for BTSU gloves, and I could go for tech support as well, or I could go for skilled, which I get the drops back quicker, the cooldown back quicker. Yeah, there's so many ideas that I can roll with hardwired now. Whether you want to go down a DPS route, you want to put Unbreakable on that. But guys, yeah, there's so many different options now. So it's something that I'm toying with the idea about, and it's just given me and many of the skill build players that build diversity. We can kick on and produce greater build diversity, which is awesome. So gear set changes, and in terms of gear sets, there's the free raid gear sets, and they are, again, Aces and Eights, Negotiator's Dilemma, Tip of the Spear, and again, I've not done the raid, unfortunately, but guys, these are now going to be readily available throughout the open world, which is a superb sign, and that gives me more access to these particular sets, so then I can produce build videos and toy with these, and again, I'm highly excited by this. Now, what I will say, and what Massive did reiterate, is that the chest and backpack pieces will only be available in the raid. Therefore, and with that being said, that's because they have a talent on those particular gear pieces. So your chest, your backpack will have a talent on there. So if you want those particular pieces from those particular free sets, then you will need to go in the raid to get the chest and the backpack. You know, that's a small sacrifice, in all honesty. But yeah, I'm prepared to work with it. I'm just happy to see those free raid gear sets available to everyone, especially because there's so many people that still haven't done the raid. Now, brand sets. Brand sets, the one thing for me was there's so many confusing pieces. You can get this again, there's 3 piece of this and 3 piece of that, 6 piece of Province Defense, etc., etc. Now they will make them all 6 piece, other than 511. 511 again, I think there will only be the 3 piece if I recollect, but they will all be 6 piece. You can put them on any piece that you so desire, and that's something that should have happened from the beginning of the game. It really should, you know. There's so many crap pieces I get for my LMG build, and it's, you know, it's still the same old shit pieces. So now they're available on every given piece of gear, which is awesome. Top Day 6 sounds promising. It is. It just gets better and better. So there will be Dark Zone changes, but I don't want to go into any of that just yet. Again, the details we had were quite scarce, but still, I don't want to touch on that yet because I want to listen to what Mass have to say in terms of their PvP improvements, because there needs to be some. But so far, what I've read and what I've seen from today's gear and loot improvements, we are in such a real good place to kick on and move forward with the game. Now, recalibration. This is something that has haunted me for a long time. Recalibration. Now, if we go back to Division 1, there was a simple cost element in terms of recalibrating, and it was very easy. There was a scale of what was the minimum and the maximum, what we're looking at. So you know, in terms of optimization, where your maximum was and what you needed to do to get there. Recalibration was easy. Optimization was easier. Now, with Division 2, it's a completely different kettle of fish, and it ain't a good one, in all honesty. The recalibration system is not cost effective, it's expensive. You need to hunt and obviously go for a lot of raw materials, sometimes polycarbonate, ceramics, titanium, electronics being the key one. So you have to grind for half an hour, get some pieces, and then you can finally do some crafting. That's after you've sold some crap pieces of loot, obviously. But now they're removing that. Well, there will be that element still, but in terms of your recalibration, you can recalibrate offensive stats or defensive or utility into different stats. So you can change a red stat into a yellow stat, or a yellow stat into a red stat, so you can go all out tank and just go with just shitload of defensive stats. You go the complete offensive stats and just go all red. Guys, yeah, there's options, and there's options in terms of what you can do with the build, and will it break the game? It can't be any more broke, in my opinion. I think this will only improve diversity and improve the recalibration system. And there'll be a case of once you go into recalibration, you will see what options you have. You won't have to scroll through these, or what do I need to do now? What's the best piece? You will have the options. Do you want to go red, blue, or yellow? Which is great. It's great. How many times that you go hunting, you go RNG farming, and what happens is you get a decent backpack with decent skills, but you don't have the right utilities. You don't have any utility stats. You have a blue and a red, and it's like, it's already got tech support and destructive on there. I want skill haste, I want skill power, and back to the grind. There will be ways to again, minimizing this issue and making it a lot more effective and productive for people that farm continuously like myself. So guys, these are the aspects we're looking at. These are the changes that are happening in Title Update 6. I'm impressed, genuinely impressed. You know, I want to see them in action before I start thinking it's Christmas and, you know, wait for the fat man to come down the chimney. I am really excited about this, but obviously apprehensive, because changes, again, they do come at a cost, they do take time, and this is the start of something special. Well, that's what we're hoping anyway. But fingers crossed, they get it right. Hopefully so. And again, next week, we're looking at more changes. Top Day 6, could be the one that saves the game. So far, what I've seen, what I've read, I am optimistic that this is, again, yes, work in progress, but progress that is actually making substantial footholds forward, and that's what this game needs. It really does, because it's been quite stagnant for a while. But Time Update 6, yeah, so far it's looking so bloody good. You know, I'm excited about these changes. So guys, what do you think? Drop a comment below. Again, if you're new to the channel, drop a sub, that'd be awesome, and I'd love to hear your thoughts below, guys. You know, I'll respond, I always do, but guys, it's looking good, it's promising. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you have, I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy. Peace.